What up, YouTube? This is Steven Talbert. This is TalbyReacts. So today, I kind of want to talk to you about my game of the year, or kind of what I thought about games this year, kind of for 2015. So today, when you're viewing this, I posted this video, pretty much the last day, December 31st of 2015. And so I really kind of want to talk to you about kind of what I saw in games this year, and kind of like what games really caught my attention. Just kind of my journey through games for this year. It's been a pretty awesome journey so far for this year, and so I got to play a very variety of different games. I don't think just thinking about back to like different games like through the years. I think this has probably been the most diverse set of games I've played, but also it's because I kind of really opened up myself to indie games. Never really took indie games really that seriously, but this year I played pretty good amount. I played kind of thanks to the PS Plus. I was just able to kind of take advantage of some of these really, really awesome indie games, and I had to say I am impressed. Just kind of giving shout outs kind of to those different type of games. Like the first game I played was Apotheon, which was pretty much this Greek mythology type game. And it was just awesome. I got my first platinum through that game. Other great games, Helldivers, which is this great space game. You play with multiple different worlds. Counter Spy, which is where you play this spy, trying to disarm these nukes and trying to get these different plans. A really cool game. Definitely play on Vita. There's just so many other good games. A game that I recently really finished, played a ton of hours, played like 48 some hours on it, was this game called Rogue Legacy. Very, very hard. There's like 5 or 6 bosses. You play as this knight through this dungeon, the survival dungeon. The dungeons change almost pretty every time you die. Very hard, but very good, very rewarding. I really love that game. Probably one of my favorite games of this year was also a game called Valiant Hearts, which I got to play on the PS. Got off the PS Plus. It was this World War One game, and it just was probably the most emotional game I've ever played by far. Just truly, really love it. And I also really know some really great studios. For instance, like I got recently fell in love with this studio called Supergiant Games. They're the makers of Transistor and Bastion, which both of which I got to play this year. Bastion quite recently, and they're just really, really awesome games. And so that's just been really surprising to find these really different studios. Shout out to game companies like 16-bit. Just there's so many different cool companies that I've really got to play this year, and it's been awesome. But in terms of like games that are like I would say game of the year, or I would kind of give that nod to. There's about 5 or 6 different games. Some other kind of notable honorees. I definitely really want to give shout outs to Call of Duty, Black Ops. Black Ops 3. I've been playing that a lot. Really think it's probably one of the best multiplayer games I played recently. Probably definitely the top game for multiplayer this year. And also Battlefront definitely gets a nod. I think they did a really good job in making that game. I'm excited to see where they, what the DLC is going to be like for that game. Definitely a good future for that series. But I think overall, there was a lot of great games. I think if I had to kind of give you an order, I would probably say my number 1 game is Metal Gear Solid 5, followed by probably Fallout 4 is my number 2 game. Then I would say there's probably a tie for number 3, which is Witcher. I would probably give it a tie between Witcher 3 and then also Bloodborne. And then kind of ending this other discussion would be probably my 5th game probably would be Batman. And so I would say Metal Gear Solid 5 is by far the best game out of all those games. Just you talk about, I think where they hit it right is just the story and the gameplay really are a great combination. It probably by far has one of the best openings I have ever seen. Like if I could play that opening over and over again, I probably would, because that opening is just fantastic. And I have to say that it's a great game. great opening. But I really, what really is lovely about that is just the gameplay. Um, for instance, just the gameplay is fantastic. Like you get to play in Afghanistan and Zambia and these different really interesting places, and like it really does feel like you're in the 1980s of these different countries. Like I've been in Uganda, I've been in Africa, and I felt like I felt Africa, and it is close to it, I would say. Um, and like that game, the gameplay is fantastic, and it just definitely is a testament to what they've done with that series. And so, and plus also the story is really unique. I like the idea of parasites that can affect the vocal cords. Kind of real spoilers. I'm sorry, but I think that it's just definitely a top notch game. Um, Other good games, Fallout 4. I don't think it hits the story, like it doesn't really affect you. But I think nonetheless the environment is like one of the most prettiest environments that I've ever been in. Like this, the what I love is just walking in Fallout 4. Uh, I don't even like the combat, but I just like walking in that environment. Whether it's just seeing the skies. I remember like one mission I just finished, like this really cool mission, and you see like these big airships pass through you, and just dispersing the Diamond City area and just all the different areas of Boston, and just that coming together. And as a film guy, I really love seeing that, just seeing what Boston would be like way, after it is like completely just like in the near future. And so amazing game. My ties for number three is Bloodborne and Witcher. I think like if you have not played Witcher, go play Bloodborne. If you haven't played Bloodborne, go play Witcher. Because I think they're very. I think I this is probably an interesting take. I think they're very similar. I think they both have really cool RPG elements. Just with the way you can customize your characters and stuff like that. And I think they both have really great provoking stories. It's just really awesome. I didn't play too far in both those games, but just really awesome. Like really much impressed. I want to try to go back to both of those in the near future, and see where it takes me. Currently, I am playing Fallout 4. Just to kind of tell you what I'm doing right now in terms of games. I'm also playing a little bit of Black Ops 3, um, and so love both those games. I think Bloodborne has one of the best just aesthetics. Like it's just is very much spooky. It's a very creepy type game, and that's just awesome to play and to love. And I think Witcher is that fantasy land that you want to be a part of. And it's definitely cool. I think the thing I would say, Witcher. I just don't like the combat in Witcher, and that's one of my biggest gripes in that game is just the combat is not as great as I want it to be. But it's just a really fun game. Definitely look forward to just playing those games. And Batman is my last game. And the reason I'm kind of really low on Batman is just because of the mechanics with the Batmobile. I think the Batmobile really deters from um, that entire game. But I really love kind of what they did with the story. I think the environment's awesome. Like it's the closest you get to like Arkham, and it's really cool. Um, and so that's kind of like my opinions on these different games. I really like if I had to choose one game just to go pick up, I would probably tell you go pick up Metal Gear Solid 5. If you are not a person who wants to play, like if you just don't want to go into the depths of Metal Gear, definitely pick up Fallout 4 because I think anybody who's new and wants to play something really different, pick that game up, check it out, and yeah, definitely tell me what you guys think about these different sets of games. I thank you for hanging out with me this year for 2015. It's been a really fun blast doing YouTube in so many different ways, and thank you for just listening to me and having fun with me. I'm definitely going to try to do more and more because I really like doing YouTube. And thank you. All right, bye.